What is going on, everybody? And in this video, we're going to be taking a look at the Jaguar E-Type Series 1 Coupe the Champion Edition. I really do think the names on these vehicles are getting longer. Also, isn't it Jaguar or is it Jaguar? Regardless, this thing looks pretty awesome. Now, this is the vehicle from the recent Chicago Heist story, and I gotta admit, this is a really cool looking vehicle. I am really digging the look of this car overall. I mean, it does look awesome. Let's open the door up here. Man, that interior is beautiful. Now, I actually want to see what customization can be done, which is probably going to be very minimal because it is like an award vehicle. So all you can do is a livery if you guys would like, or it looks like you can remove the one that's on there if you don't like that. And you can also add vanity items to it, which I'm not going to, but you can put all these on there if you guys would like to. And besides that, there really isn't anything else that can be done to the vehicle, but we can all admit that this thing looks absolutely amazing compared to the other ones in the game. I'm really happy to see them actually doing some cool like upgrades to these cars. Kind of want to see an actual new vehicle, but at least a new version of the car would be pretty cool. Now the biggest question is, how does it actually drive? Let's go find out. So we're now outside here with the new Champion Edition. My goodness, truck, what are you doing, my friend? Let me back up a little bit here so you guys can actually see this car. Thank you very much. And he drove away, bruh. Okay, regardless, like I said before, this car looks really good, and well, with it being an actual story vehicle, I really do like the approach they did with the stories, like how they actually put cars in there, the steps driving around. It is honestly a really good time. But the biggest question is, how does this thing actually drive? So taking an overall outside look of the vehicle, we can all agree it does look pretty nice. Let's listen to it. I really do like the sound of this car as well. Here's the interior view. Kind of digging the overall design of this interior as well. It does look awesome. So let's drive it a little bit. So let's shift. I am actually using this thing in manual. With this being a 4-speed, this is very risky, but I'm going to try it out a little bit and then put it in automatic to see if it's a little different. When I was actually testing this car out earlier to get a better build on it, because my goodness was this thing struggling really bad how I had it built before. Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I'm gonna go this way here. I shifted down. That's one of the biggest issues when you're in a 4-speed. I'll go over that in a little bit in the race. Like, you're trying to shift in the right gears and actually go the right speeds and all that, but the car just goes pretty much down too much of a gear and you lose a ton of speed. It's kind of annoying. So overall, I have to say it's actually decently quick. Now, I wasn't expecting this car to be fast in any way. The main reason for that is I just know how some of these like 4-speed cars are, or like some of these older style vehicles in the game really aren't as quick as some of the supercars or the faster ones for that matter. But this thing has a pretty nice acceleration feel to it with all that. But okay, one thing I want to go over as well that's been kind of bugging me. Watch this delay when I shift this thing. So I'm going to go up a little bit. So with a 4-speed, I noticed the RPMs can go past what it actually is. So you'll keep seeing speed go up even when it's redlining. So it's shifted. You guys see that really annoying delay there when shifting into second. There it is again going into third. So I think this could definitely be a big problem with this car. I'm going to do a top speed run over here with it real fast though. I do think this could be a big problem though when racing, because that delay can definitely mess up going around turns or trying to do certain things with it. I will throw it in automatic in the race to see what it does in there. But when testing out earlier, it didn't really seem to make much of a difference, which was honestly kind of bugging me a little bit. But let's get this thing up to its top speed real fast here. So hopefully that'll be decent. 247 miles an hour going through almost all my nitrous there. That's pretty dang impressive. I mean, some of the cars only do like 230, so I think it's over 240 is pretty good. The turning on is actually not bad either if you could be in the right speed, but that overall shifting delay on this thing is honestly really frustrating me. When I was driving a little bit earlier, I just could not stop thinking about that when I was driving it. So let's try it again here. So watch this when I shift it again. It's going to go up to 60, shift. You can see like the little delay there, it loses speed for a second, then starts to accelerate. Does it again in third there, which could definitely be a problem when racing. I don't even know where I am right now. Am I at the airport? Okay, I'm going to go back this way, which I think is on the wrong side. Anyway, I'm going to jump into a race now and talk about this a little bit more. And I'm going to throw this thing in automatic because this manual is kind of bugging me a little bit. So for the Champion Edition, I decided to pick the Florida Coast race because I wanted something that's like more scenic as well, like testing this thing out that has turns and actually like some straightaways and all that I can test the speed out. So I gotta admit, it's still doing the delay of speed there when shifting it. Like, I think it's more delayed than GTA 6, honestly, when you shift gears on this car. I do think that might be an issue, though, because people might get a little frustrated with that. And one reason why I talk so much and, like, toward the 4-speeds of being bad in this game, honestly, is because, for one, I never seen anyone use them, which I don't blame you. They're really not good to really be using in any races, honestly, for that matter. Going around in a turn, like, being in manual in one of these cars, like, almost impossible to be in the right gear. Like, it just doesn't actually work. You'll lose speed or not have any speed for that matter, or you'll be in the wrong gear and you'll just be going really slow. You have to shift down, the car will bog or red line. You'll just be like, okay, get me out of this thing. That's pretty much what's going to happen. But overall, I gotta admit, the stability of this car is actually really good, and it doesn't seem bad at turning either for what it is, which having a long front like that, similar to a Dodge Viper, I mean, I was expecting it to be a little worse, and it's really not bad. Let's go in first person here and drive it a little bit. I do like the first person driving feel of this car though, and I'm a big fan of Jaguars in real life, so I really don't mind that too much about it. It's just racing this thing in like events and all that is probably not going to be a good choice, but kind of similar to the bike that was in the recent Summit, actually taking this thing into like the news stories or all that and driving around trying to find those would be pretty fun to do with cruising around in this. But taking it into like a race or trying to use it competitively in like an event or something like that, I don't think it's going to be able to do too well. But at least another vehicle to add to the collection, and at least that's something to look at it in that way. When it comes to the overall stability of this car and how it actually drives, I gotta admit, it's actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be originally. I really thought this car was going to struggle really hard with its overall like handling, but it's actually pretty decent, and it kind of surprises me how this thing can actually turn and actually holds itself up and doesn't really lose itself around some turns and all that, because some cars are honestly really weird to drive. They'll feel like jittery and like wonky, and like you try to turn, they'll lose themselves a little bit. You go over one bump and the car turns into a tornado, and it's kind of hilarious, but it's definitely really frustrating when you're actually trying to race that thing overall. Now moving over to the speed, I gotta say this as well, the speed of this car is actually not bad. I'd say the biggest problem with it is gonna be the fact that it loses its speed when shifting and it kind of delays, but besides that, it's actually not too bad for being a 4-speed. I mean, it does 240 miles an hour, which is pretty impressive, and the overall like acceleration of the car is actually not bad. It's just that delay will definitely make a big difference if you guys are trying to go after like time attacks, trying to beat your time, or trying to like get better times on summit races or something. This is probably not the car for that, but exploring and cruising around, this thing is definitely going to be perfect. And the overall look of this Jaguar is absolutely amazing. I really do like what they did with it. The overall sound of the engine, the interior, like they did a great job with the overall design of this car. Plus the stories are really fun to do as well, so it'll give you something to do while unlocking a really dope vehicle. Thank you all so much for watching, and here are my settings I'm running on this car right now. I highly recommend trying them out.